Hello and welcome to SquishiVision. I'm about to watch live, having never seen it before except the first 20 seconds and the failed first take of this video. Never have I seen this video before. The season 2 official trailer for The Mandalorian. Um, First of all, I got a new setup in that I've moved flat, and slightly better for it because I've got a bit more space to kind of exist in. Um, so I can actually light my green screen using my studio light, um, and hopefully it makes some kind of difference. It's not perfect. I've done a bit of testing, um, but I think it's partially because A, I'm not a lighting person, and B, slobs isn't fantastic for green screen work, because it's live. But we'll make do for now. Anyway, yeah, before I go and watch season 2 trailer for The Mandalorian, let me just quickly give you my thoughts on season 1. Finished watching it about a couple of months ago. I think, well, I started and finished watching it a couple of months ago during lockdown. Um, First of all, I love I love it as a show. There are a whole bunch of things I love. I love the kind of uh direction of it, kind of the whole essentially it's a space western. It's a Star Wars space western, and I love how essentially instead of writing Star Wars, what they did is they wrote westerns and then added a Star Wars skin to it. I think the series benefited from that kind of. I don't know if it's deliberate or not, but that seems to me what they've done. In fact, you can take off all the Star Wars. You can take off the Mandalorian lore. You can take off the you know Yoda species. You can take off the assassin droids. You can take off the blasters. You can take off the spaceships, space. Put it into a West and have the same stories. Change a couple of words. Change a couple of kind of Star Wars specific stuff to other stuff, and it still work as a series. The stories would still work. Nothing is specific to Star Wars. I think the fact that that's the case and it's relatable as a Western first and foremost rather than a Star Wars piece benefits it entirely, and it takes a lot from uh Western genres. And well, I wouldn't even call it like a space west. Well, I guess it's a space western, but yeah, like the main Star Wars films, and a lot of people don't realize this when they complain about certain things, are basically massive space homages to kind of samurai films, which I've not seen personally, but I've read about, and other folklores, and take a lot of stuff from that as kind of their inspiration. Well, space very much takes inspiration from westerns, and I love that. I love the visuals, especially considering a lot of the backgrounds are virtual, completely utterly virtual. And I've read about this 270 360 degrees screens as the sets, and honestly, it blows my mind. But that's what they did. I think it's really, really, in terms of filmmaking, as a filmmaker, and as a projectionist as well, it is. I think it's groundbreaking, and it's surprising that more people aren't really talking about it. Um, so I loved that. I love the characters. Um, I think there's more that needs to be fleshed out. I think the one thing which I think wasn't perfect was the pacing. It was a relatively short series, but even when you have limited episodes, what you do is you sort your pacing. So the problem with me is it felt very, I don't know, kind of both rushed and slow at the same time. Like he had filler episodes, but because it wasn't enough episodes to really have filler episodes, the filler episodes had plot in it, but then no plot was really relevant, kind of thing. Even though one of the episodes is probably one of the filler ones. Um, like he had parts where the main narrative wasn't really present, but certain things which were tie into the main narrative appeared, but it still wasn't feel like a main narrative episode. Not really making much sense here, but I think the pacing was kind of one thing I was off. There are parts where I was like just watching it to watch it, but didn't really. I don't know, but I guess that kind of fits into the whole. I think if you watch it as one long piece of media, it works. But then the thing is, TV and film aren't the same, and they don't can't you can't just you can't just. It's not the same thing. Like if you got a two-parter and the two parts together basically made a 2 hour story, which is within the time range of a theatrical release film, it wouldn't feel the same because you're not telling a theatrical. It's kind of expectations. Anyway, less about season 1. Now that I've fixed this, uh, season season 2. Um, I'm slightly conscious that this a weird lag in me saying words. If there's a weird lag in this video, I'm sorry. That shouldn't be the case. This is a new setup. It's gonna have some bugs in it. The audio is gonna be the thing which is gonna let it down now because it's hard to really sound mix when you're a one-man team and you're live. So that'll be better. But anyway.
Show me the one whose safety deemed such destruction. You must reunite it with its own kind.
Where?
This you must determine. The songs of eons past tell of battles between Mandalore the Great and an order of sorcerers called Jedi.
You expect me to search the galaxy and deliver this creature to a race of enemy sorcerers?
This is the way.
You know this is no place for a child.
Wherever I go, he goes.
So I've heard.
This is the way.
Oh, I also love the music for Mandalorian. I don't think I mentioned it earlier. I love it. Anyway, yeah, let's go through this. I like how they've added the child to. So that's the thing. Series. The first image we see is of a ship. Obviously, it's so laggy. Hungry. Is the ship flying over a planet? It's damaged. There's debris coming out. The back door's open. The voiceover we get is of the armorer from the last bit of up this season, which presumably he's gonna do the quest of returning child to their home. An urban city with a lot of graffiti. I don't know if this is a real set or if this is again part of the virtual kind of set that they've made. Really can't tell, which I think is Tusken Raider. Can't remember actually. This is where my not refilling my Star Wars fan credentials, but I can't remember if Tusken Raiders are found anywhere else not Tatooine. But I mean, hey, this could be any desert planet, of which we've seen several. Possibly Tatooine. Nice planet. Again, there are several. Nothing distinctive there. This I find interesting. These are remember said quickly calamarians. And there's actually a whole bunch of them. So is either a calamarian crew or their own calamaria. But it is interesting that Oh yeah, we see this character. I don't know who his actor is. I don't know who his character is. Um, but I saw an article speculating about it, so it's probably gonna be important. Um, yeah, come watch my videos where I go scrub through a trailer on a laggy computer and point out obvious facts and nothing really. He's kept his jetpack, which is good because he made a big deal of it last time. This I find interesting. A ship, a conventional. I mean, it probably can fly as well, but a conventional ship in water rather than one going ahead. I mean, if it's a shipping, if it's a fish trawler, then it makes sense. But I find it interesting that in the world of Star Wars, we still have things like actual normal ships. I suppose we've seen ships before, actually, so no, I'm so surprised. There's a whole sequence in the Phantom Menace, which is actually a ship. So really, I'm surprised he isn't. But I think it's because it seems like that's obviously a future submarine ship. Obviously, this looks very, apart from the engines and the glow, you take that out, and it looks very similar to kind of a modern ship. You know, it just could be contemporary, which I think actually goes back to what I was saying about how I like how this show is basically a western first for most, and then they had this Star Wars skin afterwards. Like this, like once it gets this close, this seems like a natural, just normal standard ship. Nothing kind of futuristic about it, apart from the aliens on board. Bunch of X-wings, so perhaps closer. Not Rebel Alliance because this is after Endor, so it'll be the New Republic at this point. We see these two characters back on what looks like probably the same planet we left them on. Obviously, and I don't do my research before. I've completely blanked on what these characters' names are, so. But I know who they are. I just completely forgot who the characters are. But he kind of took over as like a governor. I think actually that was his title. At the end of the last season, so his clothes seem to erase still the same status. Oh, she's back for last season. In the backlash against her actor. What she's like? What is it? She's a COVID denier. Some reactionary opinions. She's getting cancelled soon. We see the imps. Here as well with their fully TIE fighters, action pieces. And we end on what I suspect is probably in the same planet as the urban one. With this bit, and he's night whistlers, I think they were called, something like that. He's arming those. It's strange that he's using them quite. He's using them quite a bit, considering they're made out of the same rare metal his suit's made out of, and he was told they were very powerful but also very limited, and he should use them carefully. And then we see a whole bunch of times where he uses them. Fighting sounds. Last person dead. Nothing in terms of the plot, but if it's anything like the first season, the plot's very, very simple. Nothing here. I mean, so there's the speculation about season 2, speculation / confirmation, because I can't remember if it's what's what anymore. But supposedly we see Ahsoka Tano, which I think is going to be the massive kind of things to look forward to for this season. So obviously we're not going to see the trailer because it's something massive to look forward to. I think there's another character maybe we're meant to see. Whether or not he gets to the home planet is also to remain to be seen. So that's apparently, but it doesn't really reveal much in terms of the plot other than what we know from last season. But it seems exciting. I'm looking forward to it. The action pieces are always good. Yeah. Okay. I'm floundering, and I'm very well floundering. I didn't realize I was gonna flounder so quickly. But I think it's mostly I didn't really realize how slow my brain is beating today. And my mouth seems very croaky. I'm also hungry, which is probably it. Actually, I'm probably just hungry. But I mean, it's just less of a trailer, more of a teaser trailer. The issue of going into these blind and just giving an initial reaction means and also as a person, I'm very kind of unexpressive. So the problem with this is unless it's being kind of like mind blown in it, I'm very unlikely to really react. I have an opinion. I think the biggest thing I had an opinion on was the boat, which I didn't realize that she wasn't that impressive. And he seems to. I hope he keeps his jetpack, and we see a lot of him flying because that sounds exciting. Oh god, I am tired. I just slice of the foot, but mom gonna yawn now. What's happening? Oh, yawning. And I mean, it looks like we see kind of three distinct places. We see the urban place, we see the desert place, we see the place we were last time, and then we see the ice place. And four places, four distinct places like I see, and obviously space between. And I think what was nice about the last season is how we kind of really stuck to the same locations throughout. It wasn't really a kind of what's the globe over a galaxy trotting adventure. We stuck within the main few systems, and I think that is beneficial. We should stick to that because it kind of more suits the kind of Western feel of it. So I imagine we'll probably spend a couple of episodes in one place, a couple of episodes in another place, go somewhere else, jump back, that kind of jazz. Anyway, yeah, what are your thoughts, people? On the trailer, not on me. I know I'm terrible. And I'll see you whatever else I do next. Bye.